Elizabeth Yoakum, and I live in Los Angeles, California. So I came to Beond to celebrate a really important threshold in my life. I'm 49, going to be 50, and my mother died when she was 49. And that's been a big driver of my life, my healing journey. It's been a big driver in my artistic life, my career. So to be here and celebrate that threshold of turning 50, in attending to the vestiges. I've been on a healing journey for many, many years, but I feel like being at Beond, the call to come to Beond, was an opportunity to attend to just the things and the nooks and crannies that all of my practices, the way I live my life, the choices that I make every day couldn't get to. Because I feel like there's a heaviness that I've walked with in the world that may not be apparent, but I'm aware of it. And I feel this threshold to kind of the flourishing of my life, the blossoming of my life. And what I felt in the call of Beond, to go beyond that threshold, to step into really a new possibility of my life, how I can show up in all aspects of my work, in how I love, in how I live, in how, frankly, I spend my life force. In my career, I've been really fortunate, either fortunate or I've made good choices and have had a lot of help. I am both, I like to say I'm a dancing art historian, which means that I'm trained in art history and I'm trained in dance. So I've built a career both in the art business, the art world. I function as a fine art appraiser, so I give opinions of value on fine art. I've been a former gallery director, and I'm at large kind of an art advisor to artists and individual collectors. On the other side, which isn't so much the other side anymore, another aspect of my career is that I'm an artist, a performing artist, with a full portfolio of international experiences, both in the theater, in the streets, doing a lot of land-based, improvisational, participatory works that are largely community-based, and it's really celebrating the old ways we come together, where everyone's dancing, everyone's singing, everyone's telling their story. Ibogaine comes in because what I understand in terms of working with the intellect, working with the mind, medicine of truth, cleaning the hard drive, because my mother died so young, because I grew up so fast, because there were other forces that were going on in my childhood that I think forced me in a position to try and think my way through a lot of stuff. So I developed a really overactive mind. I developed an over sense of vigilance. Are you friend, are you foe? Are you for me, or are you against me? Very primitive, very, and what I think my journey, which brings me to Ibogaine, is to further clean out the hard drive, to help integrate, to help, frankly, I'm very drawn by this sort of healing of the mind, healing of the brain, healing of the, to bring about a healthy sense of neuroplasticity at the. Today, my day at Beond began, I think, the moment I said yes to coming here. The welcoming spirit, the sense that I was going to be taken care of and really well accompanied on a journey, one that was into the unknown and one that was frankly a little scary in terms of something I'd never done before. So today reflected that. I felt welcomed, I felt cared for, I felt well fed, I felt all of my from my emotional body, mental body, spiritual body, physical body was attended to from the moment I woke up. And that looked like a delicious meal. It was a Watsu session in which I felt in the arms of my mother, and I felt back in the womb, and I felt back in her embrace. And then I got to speak to a brilliant therapist, and that got to ground, my intentions and how I was feeling in the mind, in the verbal, talking about it. And then we went into this beautiful sound bath, and the healer began to sing, and her song was so pure. It just, from Canada, it felt like it was coming off the Canadian Rockies. So I think at Beond there's a very distilled understanding of what people need holistically for the body, for the mind, for the spirit, the arts, expressive arts therapy, and how important that is to integrate and experience. So that's just been my first day. My intentions at Beond, being a threshold year, is to really heal the past in ways that I haven't been able to kind of get to be in touch with, to relate to on a holistic level. Healing the past so I can step into the future, which is what lays before me, which I feel like is a time of flourishing, a time of blossoming, and a time of deepening in the work that I'm here to do. I'm feeling truly a sense of peace. I think embodied peace. And I'm feeling a sense of synthesis. I've noticed that the medicine and the entire experience has allowed me that things are synthesizing. Things are synthesizing. Body, mind, spirit, my intentions with the life I've built, that I'm beginning to feel things come together. I'm feeling relaxed. I'm feeling refreshed. I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling that my life and all of my life choices are deeply affirmed by the experience. I'm feeling a sense of right time, right place, meaning that all of my experiences led me to this moment, the good, bad, the ugly, and that I've been given the tools to make my way, make sense of it, to celebrate it. I guess in the moment, related to my intention, I really feel a deeper sense of celebration. I carried so much burden and so much sorrow, even if it was on the inside. But I really feel like all of that is the foundation to celebrate. Celebrate it all. A terror like I've never felt before. I've known it intellectually, I witnessed it, but to feel the level of terror, my own terror, the terror maybe that was present in my early childhood. I discovered that behind rage is a terror, is a fear. And ultimately, after battling with that terror, after trying to survive, which I think I tried to survive with that terror, but I was a child. So now as an adult, as a woman, being faced with that level of terror, I was able to hang with it and feel my strength and feel my capacity to love myself through that experience of facing that terror and then surrender. I chose to surrender ultimately, rather than it being frozen in my body, in my mind, in my spirit, in some place that I really couldn't get to that extent. And I've tried. I've tried. But this experience allowed me to ultimately surrender to the deep terror that I think I was subtly living with, that, created fears in me. And once I surrendered, then I got back a part of me, recessed, frozen in that terror. It came back to me. The child within that was frozen came back to me. The staff at Beond is a group of exceptional individuals. When you walk in the door, when I came to Beond, they would often say, "We're here for you." And I thought, that's nice. And then I experienced how much each person is here for me along my journey. From moments in which I was unable to take care of myself, to moments of giving me such a high degree of nurturance and care and attention. The staff here at Beond is extraordinary, and I felt their love, and I feel their heart, and I feel their deep commitment to their work and their joy in the work that they're doing. I feel their joy in their choice and, how do I want to say this? The joy, the care, the intention, and the expertise that they bring to every moment is authentic and deep and real. And it makes the experience, it really created the setting for me to transform, to plumb the depths of my story, my journey, my mind. And I could plumb those depths because I knew that where I came from was this environment in which I was cared for, and that I was going to go back to, after the treatment, that same environment in which I would be cared for, mothered, nurtured, attended to. I would say, give yourself a chance to know how strong you are. Give yourself a chance to experience how resilient you are. And give yourself a chance for those parts of you that maybe were left behind a long time ago to show up. And I feel like this experience, I'm a deeply feeling person. I'm a dancer. I'm in my body. And it was fascinating to me that a journey, a therapy in which I'm largely immovable, that I had such a deep felt sense of a time 30 years ago, 35 years ago, and that it all came back to me as if I was in the room again. If you're called to take this journey with Ibogaine, trust the call, because it really means that you're ready.